and gentlemen, welcome to Time Warner Cable Stadium for the 2012 WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. Our second game today is a Division I quarterfinal featuring the Waukesha West Wolverines and the Pere Redbirds. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's meet our two teams. First, introducing the non-starters for Waukesha West. Number 01, Sabrina Seeger. Number 2, Eliana Moreno. Number 3, Jordan Lanas. Number 9, Ellie Tabaphone. Number 12, Rachel Rogan. Number 13, Emily Dinas. Number 15, Jessica Fall. Number 17, Maggie Fuller. Number 18, Ellie Visuri. Number 21, Alex White. Number 23, Noelle Quiat. Introducing the non-starters for De Pere. Number 2, Alec Kleitz. Number 5, Emmy Dressing. Number 7, Mackenzie Wallace. Number 10, Joelle Stewart. Number 13, Alyssa Balser. Number 14, Emily Hetman. Number 16, Demi Edwards. Number 18, Dakota Steger. Number 19, Drew Ebert. Number 22, Gabby Fiat. Number 25, Hannah Baldwin. Now introducing the starting lineup for the Waukesha West Wolverines. Junior midfield, number 4, Taylor Schmidt. Senior defender, number 5, Ashley Siebert. Freshman defender, number 7, Caroline Remmers. Senior forward, number 8, Cassie Blaze. Senior midfield, number 10, Elizabeth Kelly. Sophomore forward, number 14, Katie Grawl. Sophomore defender, number 16, Carly Hoffman. We have an addition to the Waukesha West roster in the starting lineup. Freshman defender, number 19, Mary Dinas. Junior midfield, number 20, Michelle Farrow. Junior midfield, number 22, Carly Richter. And starting in goal, freshman number 1, Jessie Lozanecki. The head coach of the Waukesha West Wolverines is David Zindler. Introducing the starting lineup from the De Pere Redbirds. Sophomore defender number 1, Reese Ebert. Freshman defender number 3, Danielle Steger. Freshman forward, number 8, Greta Arshen. Freshman midfield, number 9, Jenna Holwinski. Junior defender, number 12, Maddie Miller. Senior defender, number 15, Frankie Jensen. Junior forward, number 17, Carmen Villarreal. Junior midfielder forward, number 20, Jessica Splitcoder. Junior midfield, number 21, Abby Savolt. Senior defender, number 23, Lauren Splitcoder. And starting in goal, junior, number 11, Megan Lindstrom. The head coach of the De Pere Redbirds is Trisha Rose.
This afternoon from Time Warner Cable Stadium at Eline Soccer Park here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The 30th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament continues with Division I Quarterfinal number 2. In the Pere Redbirds of the Fox River Classic Conference battle the Classic 8 Conference's Waukesha West Wolverines. And once again, good afternoon. Welcome back to Milwaukee. My name is Matt Menzel. An exciting first game that sees Kenosha Tremper and Eau Claire Memorial end in a 3-3 draw with the Trojans advancing by way of a 4-2 shootout. Trojans will await the winner of this game to play in a semifinal coming up tomorrow night at 6 p.m. The Pere Redbirds back at state for the fourth time since 2009. That year they were one and done, lost in a quarterfinal against Brookfield Central 2-0. Waukesha West back in state for the seventh time, sixth consecutive season. They have made it here to Eline. Last year, a runner-up finish against the Appleton North Lightning, lost to the Lightning 1-0. Redbirds coming out in their all-white unis. Waukesha West in their away blue. Redbirds, they've been playing real well, which includes 4 consecutive playoff victories, all by a combined score of 17-0. Ultimately, have to go all the way back 12 games. Last time the Redbirds suffered defeat, losing 3-1 against another state qualifier, the Neenah Rockets. Waukesha West comes in with 9 consecutive wins. They have registered 12 shutouts, including 3 here in the playoffs. So our second D1 state quarterfinal is underway. Glad you could join us for the second of 4 here on this opening day of the state soccer tournament on this busy Thursday in and around the state. As state tournaments wear on here in Wisconsin with the spring baseball state tournament wrapping up and the softball tournament just underway. Goal kick early on and for Waukesha West. Ball put back into play by Jesse Lozanecki, the freshman keeper. So far with over 1,500 minutes logged, 22 goals allowed, a 1.10 goals against average, 88 saves, had a big hand in most of those 12 shutouts. Golden opportunity here, and what an impact she has had already as only a 9th grader. Forward the Pere getting knocked down, Jessica Splitgerber, a junior. And the Pere will put it back into play. Redbirds graduating 2 first-team all-conference selections. Lost 3 overall, but graduating 2 as Natasha Miner, an all-conference honorable mention in 2011 of the Fox River Classic Conference, said not to play soccer this year. Jessica Splitgerber blocked after the feed from Mackenzie Wallace. And now Cassie Blaze, a senior for the Wolverines, dumped ahead with Katie Grawl, only a sophomore. Winning back is Carly Richter, a junior in the midfield for the Wolverines. Certainly they have the experience factor coming into this state tournament. They have been a runner-up 2 out of the last 3 seasons. And Pere again getting back here for the first time since 2009, and albeit doing it with a very young team. They have 9 freshmen on the Pere roster. That was kind of the name of the Fox River Classic Conference this season. Everybody was young. Redbirds finishing tied for first with Sheboygan North, comprising a 9-win, 0-loss, 2-tie conference mark. Sheboygan North, one of the 2 Sheboygans that the Pere had to knock out in the sectional round of play to qualify for state. Right between the ankles of Michelle Farrell, the 5'10 junior midfielder. And now forward to Pere, Jenna Holowinski. Holowinski off the left cleat. Back up by Carmen Villarreal, the junior forward. And now Villarreal knocked away in front defensively. Caroline Remmers, a freshman at 5'4". We say De Pere's young, but Wolverines young as well with 6 freshmen, 6 sophomores on their 22-player roster. And in fact, one of those freshmen scratched, and then Mary Dynas, another freshman, added to the starting 11. Coach David Zindler saying before the game, we're thin, as Mary Dynas added to the varsity team and quickly inserted into the starting 11. Back out it came. Remmers try to get a clean on it. Instead, the Redbirds looking to send it across. That was headed up by Remmers. And now Blaze back out with Lauren Splitgerber. Really doing the splits there with Jenna Holowinski. And Carmen Villarreal waiting back. High hopper. Ozanecki able to haul it in. For the Wolverines, they knocked off Greenfield in a regional semifinal 7-0 before they took care of Waukesha South 2-1 in a regional final. They beat McGuanago 4-0 in a sectional semifinal, and the Lasers at Kettle Moraine 1-0 in the sectional final round to get back here to Milwaukee into the state tournament. Back in 09, a runner-up to DSAJ, who at that time had won their second consecutive state title. Tied in the quarterfinal in 2010, lost by way of a shootout. And then again, a runner-up finished Appleton North in last year's appearance after they had been a team that had been one and done, both in 07 and 08. That's starting the stretch of 6 consecutive appearances at the state tournament. Nice catch made by Lozanecki, who went airborne along with Carmen Villarreal. Back outside the midfield circle, an enormous bounce away from Blaze. Out of play, and a throw in here for the De Pere Redbirds. Their path to state would see them knock off Green Bay West 7-0 in a regional semifinal before taking care of Ashwaubenon 4-0 in a regional final. Back-to-back wins against the two Sheboygan schools who had some pretty good seasons out of the Fox River Classic Conference. Yet Sheboygan North, that was a 3-0 victory for De Pere, and then Sheboygan South also a 3-0 victory. And winning against Sheboygan North, though, a big step forward. De Pere, who had tied the Golden Raiders earlier in the regular season at 1. Sheboygan South, a team that the Redbirds had barely gotten by, beating them 1-0 very early on in conference play. But no problem this time around during the sectional round of competition. But this is a team that this season has gone on even with their youth. All been gelling, and players have been stepping up. Villarreal leads the way in the goal-scoring statistic with 16, but you have Jessica Splitgerber waiting back in that midfield, who has done a great job on set pieces, on corner kicks, leads the way with 9 assists. All been coming together at the right time for De Pere, and finding their way back here to state and doing so again with a team that still has a couple of years to grow. Only 2 seniors on their roster. Throw in for Maddie Miller. You know, she's living the dream for De Pere. She has had an outstanding junior season that has seen her year start off with volleyball in the fall, a volleyball team that qualified for state. Part of the basketball team that won the state championship this past winter. Now here she is with the soccer team, vying for a state championship. All this during her junior season. Just over the head of Elizabeth Kelly. Off the head of Villarreal. And now sent downfield where it's off the left kneecap of Remmers. Had to take it away by Villarreal. Leaving it there with Holowinski. Villarreal looking to wind up. That may have gotten a piece of Remmers, but either way, Lozanecki to her right side to scoop it up. Has been one of the 3 keepers utilized this season by David Zindler, but has seen the majority of the minutes logged. And again, has not been bad at all. As only a freshman. He's only given up 1 goal here in the postseason. Got plenty of offensive support. Most of those 12 starts coming within the last 3 weeks. Grawl. Lauren Splitgerber. Reese Ebert. Now sent ahead by Holowinski. Breaking for the ball is Villarreal. Side by side with Remmers. Remmers gets in front to distract and knock it away from Villarreal. Ball coming into the corner for the De Pere Redbirds. Corner kick being set up by Danielle Steger. Just over 8 minutes gone by here in the first half. The one hopper is knocked away. That's going to be set back up in the corner by Danielle Steger. She too only a freshman. Like Holowinski, has seen significant playing time for Trisha Rhodes this season. Back up top, it's sent away for a minute by the Wolverines, but dumped back in by Reese Ebert. Kelly got a foot on it. And finding it now is Taylor Schmidt. Schmidt. Now the takeaway with Steger. Sends it across. Trying to split it, Pere Holowinski. Scooped up by Lozanecki. I don't know how Holowinski was able to spin free. She had about 3 Wolverines all around, but found an opening and nearly cast it against Lozanecki. Throwing for the Redbirds with Maddie Miller. And the Wolverines have that deflect off Carly Richter. The Pere inching upfield. Squad that is coming with 5 consecutive shutouts, that going back to their regular season finale, in which they would tie in double overtime Green Bay Preble. That tie enabling Sheboygan North the opportunity to move into that first place tie in the Fox River Classic Conference. 9 out of their last 10 games have seen them keep the opposition off the scoreboard. The one time they've given up a goal over the last 11, now 10 games, was an 11-1 victory against Green Bay West.
Substitution into the Waukesha
Megan Lindstrom has been the starting goalkeeper since day one.
Into the Pere lineup.
The Wolverines, Elizabeth Kelly.
Replacing 9.
That's left along this near side, looking upfield. And Remmers having the ball fly out of play. A throwing forward to Pere with Danielle Steger. Quigley getting it back into play. Not wasting any time trying to find Alec Kleiss. Nice find. Villarreal redirected by Lozanecki. Keep an eye, though, on number 2 forward to Pere, Alec Kleiss. Only a freshman at 5'2", a speed demon for the Redbirds. Makes things happen offensively for the Pere. Corner kick for Danielle Steger. Corner kick number 3 for the Redbirds. 11 minutes into this first half. Scoreless D1 state quarterfinal. Abby Savolt, a junior midfielder. Position to the outside post. 1-2 trying to flank Lozanecki. Gets the bend. Was looking to hook up with that of Lauren Splitgerber. Back out it comes to Steger. And Steger will throw it in again. Alec Kleiss right now outside the box. Ball lifted over her head and sent away by the Wolverines. Back on the wing. Waukesha West still just trying to get something going toward that left side of the midfield. A sustained attack so far against the Pere. They have come out, they have possessed here in the opening 12 minutes. Picking up where they left off against Sheboygan South, a game that would see Alyssa Balser, Jessica Splitgerber, and Alec Kleiss again coming off the bench, scoring the 3 tallies. And that being shutout number 15 for the Redbirds this year. Jessica Splitgerber, and now Greta Arshim back on the outside. Here's Kleiss, and Kleiss will send it beyond the goal. Again, not a bad threat coming off that sideline, off the bench for the Redbirds. Alec Kleiss, 8 goals, 7 assists, 23 points.
Waukesha West lineup. 17, Maggie Fuller, and 18.
Already this season, she has had a couple of 2-goal performances. She had 2 goals each against Green Bay East, Green Bay Notre Dame, and Pulaski. Both of those goals a victory against Notre Dame. 2-0 for the Redbirds. Had a Notre Dame team that is back here at state. And, you know, we talk about the Fox River Classic Conference. We talk about how it's a young conference. Had a team that finished back near 6th place in the Fox River Classic Conference, yet able to put together in the Division II bracket and will be here tomorrow, part of the state tournament in that Division II semifinal against Mount Horeb. Villarreal, and it deflects on in an own goal. After Villarreal got a piece of it forward the Pere, it ricocheted off the Wolverine to the right side of Lozanecki. And so a 1-0 lead for the Redbirds. As they get the luck of the bounce, as the ball getting just by the freshman keeper Lozanecki. As the Pere continuing to mount the pressure, Carmen Villarreal, the closest Redbird in front, just missed making contact after the swing came inward before the ball deflecting off a hip and into that north goal. Villarreal.
The Pere goal is scored on
and now Carmen Villarreal going back to the outside at the Maddie Miller. Do note that, again, because that one deflecting off a hip on in, an own goal credited to Carmen Villarreal, the last Redbird. Possibly make contact, scoring her 17th on the year. That's tops on the Redbird roster now with 38 points. Had a big goal earlier this season against Appleton Xavier, in which she was able to, at the time, forward the Pere, score a go-ahead goal only for the Hawks to come back, find the equalizer, and eventually win the game by way of double overtime. Xavier is back here at state. They'll be part of the second D2 semifinal tomorrow at approximately 3 p.m. against Catholic Memorial. Another regular. Now swung in by Danielle Steger. Again, the Classic 8 Conference has become traditional over the last number of years, having two representatives with Waukesha West and Catholic Memorial. Part of the state tourney field, the Wolverines. They were tops in that Classic 8 Conference. Catholic Memorial finishing number 2. And 5 victories, 1 setback, and 1 tie. Takeaway by Jessica Splitgerber. And now Kleiss. Alec Kleiss. Played off a short hop by Lozanecki. So the Pere currently in front 1-0. An own goal credited to Carmen Villarreal. That's the difference maker. Approaching 16 minutes gone by. First half, game 2. For the Pere, it's going to be Maddie Miller on the toss-in as the Wolverines going to the bench. But the way the Classic 8 played out this season, you had Waukesha West a perfect 7-0. From a conference standpoint, the Wolverines able to outscore their opponents 22-9. 22 goals the most, the 9 allowed. The 4th fewest. Catholic Memorial, they didn't score a whole heck of a lot, but 5-1-1. They only scored 13 times in league play, giving up 4. Number 1-0 league finals for the Crusaders. Waukesha North went 4-2-1. Kettle Moraine went 4-3. And Arrowhead, who for a good majority of the season, at least was receiving some notice as an honorable mention in Division I, they finished back in 5th place. And McQuanago, Waukesha South, and Milwaukee Pius. Pius about to leave that Classic 8 conference, and in will come Muskego. Kleiss was slowed up. And Carly Hoffman, defensively a sophomore for the Wolverines, slowing down the speedy freshman. I think from a soccer standpoint, only going to boost the Classic 8 conference, adding a program like Muskego. Certainly a number of sports going to boost the talent already that the Classic 8 conference has. So they essentially will take the Pope's spot in the Classic 8 conference. 8 teams will remain. But And all of a sudden now you're looking at potentially 2 or 3 teams that could qualify for state on a fairly regular basis, assuming, haven't seen the brackets yet, Muskego stays the way they are right now. A team that finished right behind Kenosha Tremper this year in the Southeast Conference. That's been a regular for them. Looking up at Kenosha Tremper, Kenosha Bradford, who have down into the Southeast Conference over the last couple of years. Lozanecki. Now the turn with Katie Grawl. Grawl against Lauren Splitgerber. Able to beat Splitgerber. Sends it across. A beauty and a header that lifts up and over for Cassie Blaze. A great effort by Katie Grawl. Was able to beat Splitgerber on the outside. Cut in, sent it across, and then right in front, Cassie Blaze waiting patiently with the header lifted up over the crossbar. And a goal kick for Megan Lindstrom. When talking about the junior keeper, the one term that I've seen thrown around quite a bit when referencing Lindstrom is that she is solid. Solid to a tune of 0.60 for a goals against average. Off Steger. That's 3 out of the first 4 goalkeepers that we have seen in this tourney coming in with a below 1 goals against average. Lozanecki, the only one that's above 1, but of the 4 we've seen, still 1.10. Not bad at all for a team that, again, has been able to back her. Rachel Rogan, taken away by Maddie Miller. Following the knockdown, the Redbirds working up the wing, trying to hook up with Alec Kleiss. And a West throw-in coming as Lindstrom positions herself near the post on that west side. Kelly. And now Rogan trying to pass around Maddie Miller. Miller able to get back there defensively with some topspin. Ball stays in. Now it's out for a Wolverine throw-in. But Lindstrom has logged over now 1,500 minutes, 11 goals allowed. Over 171 saves to her credit, plus the aforementioned 15 shutouts. Had a relatively quiet sectional final against Sheboygan South. Forwarded down by Ebert. And now waiting back with Ashley Seward, senior on that defensive line. Carly Richter. Gonna see some of that spin. Staying in for Rachel Rogan. And the flag pointing to DePere. Have a 1-goal lead thanks to an own goal that credited to Carmen Villarreal, the junior for DePere. Oh, hip check down in after Villarreal, the closest DePere Redbird, to tapping that ball on by Jessica Lozanecki. And that's the difference maker so far in this D1 state quarterfinal. After a lengthy but emotion-filled up and down battle between Kenosha Tremper and Eau Claire Memorial. Game in a 3-3 draw. And Kenosha Tremper able to advance by way of a shootout 4-2. Even despite being down 3-1 with about 7 minutes left in regulation. And the Tremper head coach, Todd Hardy, receiving a yellow card during that final stretch. But able to collect themselves and make that comeback with 2 tallies in about a 5-minute span to force OT. And can eventually win it by way of a shootout. So a Wolverines throw in here in the 23rd minute. Trying to connect with Kelly. Villarreal on the run. Kleiss coming over defensively as Seward. Losing her balance. Foul going against Alec Kleiss of the Redbirds. talking about that Fox River Classic Conference and the way things, at least top, were able to shape out for the Pere. Their closest competition this season outside of Sheboygan North and that Sheriff first was Sheboygan South. Red Wings at a third place, finished with 8 victories, 1 defeat, and a couple of ties. You had Green Bay, probably at Bayport. Bayport had a pretty good start to the season, but finishing 6-3-2, and again, like the entire conference, deemed as a young squad. And so the Pere came in, highly regarded. Appleton East was considered a dark horse. Patriots ended up finishing near the bottom. Got Kimberly in there. They were number 10 finisher in the final D1 state rankings. Among some of the teams to watch out for in that Fox Valley area, the Fox Valley Association. With the Pere playing a number of teams crisscrossing. You had the Fox Valley Association and the Fox River Classic Conference. And a scoop up again for Lozanecki. Splitgerber. And now Villarreal. Expected, though, to come out of that area was Appleton North, the Lightning. Last year's D1 state champions. Right there in top 3 all season long of the D1 state rankings. But they would fall victim by way of a shootout against the Unita Rockets in a sectional final.
And 14, Katie
An
Graham.
Appleton North team was real good, real talented from top to bottom, but again, Nina able to force the shootout and was able to take it in the shootout after, again, North dominating the Fox Valley Association. Blaze. Now coming over is Remmers. That will head out after Alyssa Balser got a piece of it. And Balser helped get the scoring started against Sheboygan South on Saturday. A couple of nice players to have coming off that bench on the Pere. Bean Young has developed that depth throughout the course of this season. Kleiss has just been a natural talent on the pitch. Ball headed by Splitgerber. On the turn with Blaze. Downfield with Reese Ebert there defensively among the Pere, and with the win, ball stays in. Breezy afternoon here in Milwaukee, although not a big factor in our first game, it was kind of noticeable big factor in that first quarterfinal. That time the win helping knock the ball down back along this near touch line. Holowinski. Now Jessica Splitgerber. Alex White. Ball passed around her. Now Alec Kleiss. Kleiss against White. Sends it across, and that was knocked away by Carly Hoffman. And now Villarreal in front, played off a hop. Lozanecki will get ready to put it back into play. Mentioned it during our first game. Worth repeating when talking about this matchup. We talk about speed and the turf and the way the ball tends to bounce off that turf. The adjustments needed to be made, especially from a goalkeeping standpoint, and just adjusting to some of the hops. We saw that earlier with Lozanecki, and a little caught off guard by one of the first hops that came in front of her, but able to adjust. Wolverines getting a couple of practices in from Carroll University this week to again get acclimated, even though they were here last year and have been for the last 6 seasons at state. Well, the last couple of years, the field turf has been down. Team still again getting themselves acclimated because it's not an everyday occurrence to play on the turf, and find themselves and get themselves accustomed to what to expect. The Pere kind of the same thing. You know, you look up and down the Fox River Classic Conference, and don't necessarily get the opportunity all the time to play on turf. On occasion, you head over and play a couple of the Oshkosh schools who play at J.J. Keller Field at Titan Stadium, the UW Oshkosh venue, but that's about all. Kleiss trying to find Villarreal. That gets away from Seward. I do think, though, from a turf standpoint, certainly the pacing of the game has picked up over the years, but it benefits a player like an Alec Kleiss. It benefits a team to some degree like Eau Claire Memorial, who we saw earlier, who tries to utilize that speed, although, again, today, offside seemed to be the reoccurring theme. We've already seen Alec Kleiss off that bench every which direction on that field, and right in the mix. Ball's gone through Kleiss, helping get the Pere offense jump-started. Over that, Villarreal has also been very active, per usual. Dynas trying to connect with Blaze, who just missed earlier in this first half, scored an equalizer on a header off across from Katie Grawl. Just did lift it over the crossbar on the Grawl cross. Grawl made a nice move to get around Split Gerber and find the angle to send it across. As both teams head to the bench. 30th minute. D1 state quarterfinal.
West lineup, 14 Katie Grawl and 10 Elizabeth Kelly. They replaced 12 Rachel Rogan and 13 Emily Dynas.
Game 3 coming up at 5 p.m.
And 3 Danielle
Madison
Slater.
West against DSHA, our next matchup.
Alec Kleiss.
Before Grafton and Nina,
and
the nightcap.
Reese Ebert.
And DSHA, besides Eau Claire Memorial, the only Division I ranked team to qualify for state. Everybody else, the other 8 teams, all upset. Knocked down by Seward. Now on the turn with Farrell working it upfield to Blaze. Knocked away by Frankie Jansen, who was subbed in, the senior defender. Villarreal knocked off her cleat. Nice backup by Hoffman. Hoffman got knocked down and a clip against the Pere. I think what has happened in soccer this year, the only strength is what many coaches give you, the typical line that the rankings to them mean absolutely nothing in the whole scheme of things. Every now and then you get a coach that will acknowledge whether the team is ranked this spot or that, but most don't put a lot of stock into the top 10 or whatever the division may be in the case of D2, D3, top 5. And this year, again, throw out the rankings, throw them out that window because your top 5 teams all eliminated. 6 and 7 in the final 10. Eau Claire Memorial and DSHA both here, but Eau Claire Memorial is now one and done. 8, 9, and 10. Hartford, Brookfield Central, and Kimberly also all eliminated. They look over at Division II and kind of a different story. That's because 3 out of the 4 teams, 3 out of the 4 teams that are in the Division II field were in the final 5 Division II state rankings. The exception being Green Bay Notre Dame, who's been no stranger to the top 5 in years past. Blaze. Gonna back her up was Maggie Fuller, the sophomore forward, and the Pere gets rid of it. Out it comes to Villarreal. In Division 3, St. Mary's Central, the top team. And again, 3 out of the 4 Division 3 state qualifiers were in the top 5 in the final D3 state rankings, the only exception being the Lady Dutch of Oostburg. They're at state for the first time. A goal kick. Lozanecki. A couple of newbies to the field on the Division 3 side. You have St. Mary's Central will make it its 7th overall state appearance, all that have come in the last 8 seasons. The Lake Country Lutheran / University Lake School Co-op making its state tournament appearance after knocking off La Crosse Aquinas in the Waukesha sectional final. Plus, you have the, as mentioned, the Oostburg Lady Dutch making its inaugural state tournament appearance. They will knock off St. Mary's Springs in the sectional final. The Lady Dutch team that finished tied for 4th in the Central Lakeshore Conference that once upon a time was dominated by Ozaki. Now it's been a little more wide open. Split Gerber with Miller on the first touch. And coming up with it, Lozanecki, just in case. She had Villarreal ready to pounce for a rebound. 34th minute. And a 1-goal advantage right now for the Pere Redbirds. An own goal that was credited with Carmen Villarreal being the closest Redbird, the last to touch, or at least the intended target of the ball in front. They got by Lozanecki. That's been it so far. That came early. 6 minutes till halftime. And De Pere coming in with 19 victories, 4 defeats, and 3 ties with a total of 4 consecutive W's. And unbeaten over their last 11 games. Corner kick, number 4 for the Redbirds. This for Danielle Steger. So Steger will set it up. Ellie Vissery among those defensively back for the Wolverines. Nice side ball that Lozanecki is able to send away. Out it comes to Ebert. Split Gerber. Now the Redbirds again go in the direction of Villarreal. Adding to her goal total with now number 17. The team's 63rd coming in from a goal standpoint. These two teams relatively even coming in. The two teams in our first game that had well over 100. These two teams both in the low 60s. Ball being set up now for Frankie Jansen. 2-player wall for Waukesha West. That includes Maggie Fuller. Jansen on the bend. Just misconnected with Maddie Miller. You want some spin. Blaze try to get a cleat on it. Headed back out. Off the left cleat with Greta Arsham. And now with Katie Grawl. Back on the wing. After Richter getting knocked down to play on. Arsham. Gonna drag it in. Now trying to split 2, she will. Unable to get past the third after Seward stepped up. Steger. Going right back toward Kelly. Blaze gives way. That to Grawl. Blaze against Lauren Splitgerber. Plays that time against Maddie Miller. Throwing for the Wolverines as we approach 3 minutes left here in the first half. Game 2 of 4 of our D1 state quarterfinal action on this Thursday in Milwaukee. 6 games coming up tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. Semifinal Friday before the 3 new divisional champions to be crowned. Saturday beginning at 10 a.m. There's the scoop up for Megan Lindstrom. Again, don't forget plenty of action taking place elsewhere as well as far as state tournament coverage concerned, all right here on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Live coverage right now of Spring State Baseball's Coleman able to knock off Johnson Crick 20-11. 20-11, the 20 run setting a Division IV record, a division that began back in 2006 in spring baseball. Also, Prescott has brought home the Division III state championship, able to come through with a one-out RBI single in the bottom of the 8th inning for a 4-3 W, coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the 6th inning. And Division II getting underway from Grand Chute on the spring baseball side. Upset yesterday with St. Catherine's going down. Now Division II has Portage against Ellsworth before Bayport battles Sun Prairie tonight. So you can catch that action as well throughout the day on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Softball as well, and we'll certainly talk more about that field as we move along here on this Thursday. Down to a minute left here in half number 1. Winning back is Seward. Oncoming again was the speedy Kleiss. That was knocked down by Carly Hoffman. And now with Taylor Schmidt. Ball flying over the head of Ellie Vissery, who is trying to cut off the path of Villarreal. Ball rolling out of play. And that was last touched by Vissery, so the Pere will throw it in. Toss with Greta Arsham. In front, Kleiss on the tapper. That one sailed just shy of that west post, north end of the field. So being set up by Lozanecki. Final 10 seconds here in the first half.
7,
The own goal right now is the difference maker, credited to Carmen Villarreal.
1.
As halftime has reached us in Milwaukee in this D1 state quarterfinal. 1-0 lead the Pere Redbirds on top of the Waukesha West Wolverines. You're watching continuing coverage of the 30th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It's halftime in our second of 4 Division I state quarterfinals. This between the Waukesha West Wolverines out of the Classic 8 Conference and the Fox River Classic Conference's De Pere Redbirds. 1-0 in favor of the Redbirds. They scored an own goal early in that first half. A ball that was hip checked by the Wolverines on in, but the goal credited to the Redbirds, Carmen Villarreal. Her 17th on the season, and that's the difference maker so far, with the winner moving on to battle Kenosha Tremper at 6 p.m. in our first D1 state semifinal of this, the 30th edition of the WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament. Glad you could join us on this Thursday from the Time Warner Cable Stadium E-Line Soccer Park with our Play On Sports crew behind the scenes. Matt Menzel on hand for FoxSportsWisconsin.com inside the prep zone. Games 3 and 4 coming up at approximately 5 o'clock and 7. At 5 o'clock it is Madison West against DSHA. At 7 is going to be Neenah and Grafton. And then all semifinal action beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow with Division III. Wolverines in their all blue, De Pere in the all white. And the final 40 minutes of regulation underway with Cassie Blaze in that midfield. Blaze asking for the through ball as Carly Richter. Richter on the centering feed, trying to connect with Katie Grawl. That was the best scoring chance of the day, though, for the Wolverines coming into that first half. Katie Grawl had a cross, had an opportunity to hook up with Cassie Blaze. Blaze was able to head it, but it deflected up over the crossbar, and that really the lone chance all first half long for the Wolverines. We're back here for a 6th consecutive season, 7th overall appearance. A runner-up in 2 out of the last 3 editions of the state tournament. And 09 team, as mentioned, lost against DSHA, and Dashers are back here for the first time since 2010. And last year, a 1-1-1 trip here at state, which included the championship game loss against Appleton North. Which again is surprising when you break down rosters, you break down the numbers of the 8 teams that make up the Division I field. You know, these are young teams, certainly, that they're competing against one another. Same thing in our first game. They have their share of upperclassmen, but I wouldn't call them veteran teams by any stretch. Maybe a couple of players, but Appleton North, there was the lone exception where they've been able to find a way to get back here. They would have been the experienced bunch with a lot of seniors on this year's roster trying to defend that state title, but again, just coming up on the short end, thanks to Nina. Blaze, that's redirected. The senior defender Lauren Splitgerber right there, along with Emmy Dressen. Ball being set up in the corner by Cassie Blaze and the Wolverines. It's coming after about 4 corner kicks came the round at the pier in the opening 40 minutes. Looking to break for the ball is Elizabeth Kelly. Off Blaze's right-footed kick. Inward swing, headed back out, bouncing around, looking to get a foot on it is Carly Richter. Richter was still in the and on scene for the Wolverines as the Pearsons are back along the near touchline. Getting the start here in the second half is Alec Kleiss, typically what Trisha Rhodes does. Alec Kleiss, one of the first players off that bench, and really provided a huge lift of energy, a spark forward the pier. Getting that out here in the second half. A goal kick. That with Megan Lindstrom. For a while though, when Trisha Rhodes really first kind of came on scene with the pier, able up the Redbirds qualify for state back in 06 and again in 07, did so again in 2009. Blaze looking to send it across. Felt like maybe because of the success with 3 state tournament appearances in 4 years, the team kind of took qualifying for state for granted as though it was going to be an every year occurrence. Even though deep down inside they knew it's never a guarantee. Talking about how this year, real special with the 13 underclassmen on the 22-player roster to help get this team back here. Really feeling fortunate after a couple of years, some tough lessons learned about just how difficult it truly is to get back here to the state tournament. Team that back in 2006 go on and fall by way of a quarterfinal shootout. Blaze, and another goal kick from Megan Lindstrom. Now, in 2006, the Redbirds shootout loss against Middleton. Cardinals that season, heck of a state tournament run. Lots of memories made for Ken Berge's team in 2006 because not only did they beat the Pier, tied them, advanced by virtue of a shootout in the quarterfinals, but then they went on to knock off a very talented Brookfield Central team into their run of consecutive state titles. Beat the Lancers in a semifinal by scoring 3 goals on 3 shots, a 100 shooting percentage. And would go on and Ty Homestead, who was heavily favored that year in the championship game. And Appear, again, would utilize a shootout to pick up that state championship. And they'd come back to state fair next year and lose to Homestead. Out of play, out of the reach of Drew Ebert in the 11 for the Pier. Now these teams hooking up as well in 2007. 2007 was a banner year for the Redbirds, although they came up on the short end in the state championship game. Here's Alec Kleiss. Because early on, a couple of shootout victories for the Pier. They went to a shootout against Waukesha West in 2007. Also against Kenosha Bradford, taking care of both of those shootout battles before they would go on and lose in the championship game by way of double overtime, did the Pier to Homestead. almost going 3 for 3 in the shootout rounds that 2007 season. But that's the only year that this team in their previous 3 had gotten by the quarterfinal round, hoping that will change here this afternoon. In 2009, they were one and done to Brookfield Central. Schmidt. Richter. Now for the Redbirds with Maddie Miller. That's the beauty, though, and you're talking about some of the years past, not only with these teams, but so many others here at the state tournament. You just never know what to expect. And you make predictions all you want. We talked about that Middleton 3 for 3. Rarely, if ever again, will you see a 100 shooting percentage in a state tournament game. That day, Middleton was perfect. On the lift by Taylor Schmidt, catch made by Megan Lindstrom. A couple of years ago in a boys state soccer tournament game, we saw one goalkeeper score on another. From one side of the field to the other off an enormous hop. Another goal kick here for Megan Lindstrom. Look at that game we just had. Part of this one in that D1 state quarterfinal. Another one where, you know, Claire Memorial, and probably rightfully so, able to jump in front 3-1. The coaching staff, the players jumping up and down, high-fiving when they scored that third goal, feeling real good, and why not, up 2 with about 7 minutes left in regulation, although in soccer they say 2 goals is the worst possible lead to have. And Eau Claire Memorial found out why the hard way after not only did one goal get scored by the Kenosha Tremper Trojans, but a few minutes later able to find the equalizer. Ball given a ride by Katie Grawl, and catch made by Lindstrom. Yeah, Maggie Edmark along with Tara Larson able to score 2 in about a 5-minute span, forcing the shootout where they would control 4-2 and only 4 rounds needed. 49th minute, a 1-goal lead for De Pere. Trying to keep it in was Greta Arsham, able to do that. And now Lauren Splitgerber will send it out of play. On the lob by Waukesha West with Mary Dinas in that lineup. And she was the addition to the Wolverines 22-player roster. One of their freshman midfielders out with a broken leg, and Dinas added into the starting 11 here this afternoon. On the turn by Grawl. Grawl lifting it off the side of the netting. He's been pretty active offensively for the Wolverines, coming in second on the team in points with 47. 20 goals as tops on the team. 7 assists, that's currently second as well. She's over 58 shots, had 6 game-winning goals so far for Waukesha West.
Relive the memories from the championships captured on DVD for years to come. These DVDs make great gifts for family and friends.
We have said Lindstrom with the goal kick quite a bit already in this second half. Not so much in the first.
And that's PrepFilms.com.
Some of the adjustments David Zindler and the Wolverines have made. He's a great coach. Real good when it comes to strategy and making those corrections, and his team has done a nice job responding over the last number of years. Hoffman. Oncoming was Alyssa Balser. And now De Pere looking on the right wing. Cutting back was Carmen Villarreal, looking for Balser on the outside. On the lift, Arsham, and played off a short hop, falling on top of the ball, Lozanecki. That time, Villarreal trying to find Alyssa Balser on the right wing, the sophomore. Greta Arsham, a freshman forward, was backing her up. But Lozanecki able to fall on top of it without any damage done, and now De Pere stays on the attack. Jessica Splitgerber, and now Katie Grawl. Grawl cutting in, gets in front of Splitgerber. On the through ball to Blaze. Blaze up the side of the cleat. Easy scoop up for Lindstrom after the feed from Katie Grawl. Blaze tops on the team with 54 points, but not only has she been a goal scorer, but a heck of a setup player for the Wolverines with 18 goals, 18 assists entering this contest. Lauren Splitgerber. And now with Kelly. Well, too far ahead for Katie Grawl. 52nd minute. A couple of changes forward the Pere that we'll see. Melissa Balser leave along with Greta Arsham. Abby Saville, the junior midfielder, among those subbing in. Jenna Holowinski as well. She's a backup goalkeeper, but usually the midfielder. Holowinski coming in with 10 goals, second best on the team. She is third on the team with 24 points. As the Pere putting back out their starting 11 after they went with the same 11 that ended the first half to start the second half. Past the touchline, throwing for the Wolverines. In front of their bench, again being patrolled by David Zindler, the former Western Michigan Bronco. Coaching soccer for over 20 years. Over 19, patrolling the Wolverine sideline. Grawl. And right now the Wolverines sprinting downfield. They will have the throw in. It's going to be Blaze that will come over and toss it. Now Blaze to get that running start. We're going to flip it in perhaps. There you go. That had some lift. But just barely in the box, and back out it comes to the Wolverines. Knocked down with Splitgerber. That's dumped downfield by the Pere. Coming over was Grawl. And now Jessica Splitgerber. Taylor Schmidt applying pressure. Left on the wing for Maddie Miller, but taken away now with Alex White. Katie Grawl. Grawl cuts in. Off the left cleat. In front. That was tapped. Now played upfield by Drew Ebert, trying to find Saville, but instead Schmidt. And now Mary Dinas. Off Abby Saville to not a play. 55th minute and a throw-in. Following a couple of changes to the Wolverine 11. They will include Alex White getting a breather along with Cassie Blaze, a much-deserved breather for Blaze, who has been active like Katie Grawl on the offensive side, trying to find that equalizer. And now Carly Richter in as well for the Wolverines. Among those two changes here in the 55th minute.
Get up-to-date information on tournament results, history, and records at WIAAWI.org.
Sent back out the Villarreal. And the knockdown foul against Elizabeth Kelly. Right now in the background behind the Pere bench area, Madison West coming out to start warming up for their D1 state quarterfinal. Madison West back here battling DSHA. The Madison West Regents, their first state tournament appearance since 2003, 11th overall. They have a rich tradition during some of the early days of this WIAA-sponsored state tournament. Schmidt. On the outside with Maggie Fuller. It's going to be Caroline Remmers who will toss it in for the Wolverines. First, they will make a change.
Substitution into the Waukesha West.
That's going to see Taylor Schmidt leave and Emily Dinas. She too a freshman. Subbing on in. help out for a minute was Rachel Rogan, but now the throw-in for Danielle Steger and DePere. As mentioned, talked a little bit about the Spring State Baseball Tournament, softball taking place as well. All 3 state tournaments can be seen via FoxSportsWisconsin.com. You can also watch all 3 simultaneously right now in Madison for the 37th annual WIAA State Softball Tournament. Already a couple of finals are in. 3 finals are in fact. Yeah, Chippewa Falls knocking off Hamilton 18-2. The Patriots of Appleton East by way of extra innings 9, knocking off West-Osa Central 1-0, and then just gone final, Sun Prairie over Franklin 10-0 at 6. Lindstrom on the drop kick. Again, getting ready to get underway now, about a half hour in. It's Spash, Stevens Point, and Germantown. So check out our continuing coverage of the WIAA state tournaments. Busy springtime for the WIAA, and again, all taking place right here on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. And of course, soccer and softball will continue tomorrow, and the champions to be crowned on Saturday. Off the left cleat of Katie Grawl. A goal kick for Megan Lindstrom. Looking from a spring state baseball standpoint right now, they're in the Division II title game with Portage on top of Ellsworth, 6-0. That game in the second inning before Bayport will play tonight against Sun Prairie. Richter. Emily Dinas will throw it in for the Wolverines. Check that, Mary Dinas. That was sent out by Split-Gerber. Again, it's Mary Dinas. Again, it's knocked out by Maddie Miller. Right now, an own goal is the difference maker in this D1 state quarterfinal. Already we have seen 7 combined goals scored in our first 2 D1 state quarterfinals, which is significant only in the sense that last year may have been the lowest scoring state tournament in recent memory, but competitive. That was sent across. Sent across again by Grawl. But at last year's D1 quarterfinal action of the 4 games combined, there were 8 goals. Almost nearly tied, if not surpassing, in our first 2 games. Throwing here for DePere. When you factor all 3 divisional state championship games were 1-0 finals. And Appleton North knocking off Waukesha West to determine the D1 championship. You had Madison Edgewood over Green Bay Notre Dame in Division II, and then Kettle Moraine Lutheran over Assumption in Division III. In fact, looking at the field, only Green Bay, Notre Dame, and Waukesha West among the 6 that were even in the divisional championship games last year are back this season. So changes with Carly Hoffman in. Leaving is Elizabeth Kelly. In is Taylor Schmidt. Blaze back as well. Yeah, she'll get ready to flip the ball back in. That time was a nice flight trying to find Kelly. Michelle Farrow is back in as well. Farrow battling against Danielle Steger. Off Farrow, and Steger looking off field with Reese Ebert. Back penalty is Jenna Holowinski into the Pere 11. And now Alec Kleiss. Haven't seen many runs out of Kleiss yet in this second half. It's being marked up there by Michelle Farrow. And now with Ashley Seward. And over toward the Pierce sideline, Drew Rhodes, the assistant coach for the Redbirds. Along with Sarah Pearson among the assistant coaches for now 11th year head coach Trisha Rhodes, former Edgewood College Eagle. Trying to take it away was Caroline Remmers. She went to work it upfield. It was kicked out of play. Throwing goes right to Greta Arsham. And now the goal kick for Jessie Lozanecki, the freshman keeper. She came on scene, besides the fact that obviously new to high school and then straight to the varsity team as a starter. Came on scene and only allowed 1 goal in the first 3 games. They will beat Oconomowoc 4-1 and then Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 6-0 before beating that young Green Bay Notre Dame squad that has found some magic in the postseason, knocked them off by a 1-0 final. So came on scene quickly and established herself as a quality goalkeeper for the Wolverines. Sometimes you have some of those timing issues early on with when to come out, when not to come out, and just some of the nerves, whatever the case may be, ultimately affecting your ability to those first couple of games, but not so the case for Lozanecki. Only losses she has had this season. Brookfield Central, they are a strong team under Jason Burge. And Amity Falls, who end up losing a sectional semi against Grafton. You have Kimberly, who was a top 10 finisher in the D1 state rankings, along with Whitefish Bay, who finished number 5. Kleiss. Alec Kleiss. And swung by Taylor Schmidt. Back out, trying to connect with Rachel Rogan. Down went Taylor Schmidt. And on the foul, getting tangled with Drew Ebert. So Ebert, there for the Pere. Seward knocked down by Rogan. Cross midfield, Alec Kleiss. Able to leave it to Holowinski. And now Reese Ebert. Trying to turn around, was on the outside. They have Greta Arsham, who was cutting down the middle for most of this early portion of the second half. Has now dropped to that right wing. Goal kick here for Lozanecki. Wolverines have changes, including Katie Grawl getting a breather. Back out there is the 1-2 combo with Cassie Blaze. 65th minute. 1-0 to Pere.
Going back in the game just might put your life in jeopardy. And it's not just football.
Now back out it comes toward Elizabeth Kelly. Throwing here now with Danielle Steger. Sent upfield. Now sent up by Holowinski. Get a piece of it to Arsham. Now back out it comes with Holowinski. Throwing again for the Redbirds. That time continuing to tick away here at half number 2. An own goal, the difference maker. That was knocked down by Elizabeth Kelly. Wolverines back with Blaze. That was taken away by Steger. Ebert. And now Alec Kleiss. Well, back on the outside with Arsham. Remembers there defensively in the left-footed swing by Ashley Seward. Throwing forward the Pere. The Pere with their 9 freshmen coming into the season knowing that they were going to be a young team. Trisha Rhodes came out and said, I would not have taken any of them on my team if I didn't know that they were going to make an impact this season. It's a freshman group that, sometimes you get freshmen on the varsity team that just kind of stand on the sideline, take in the varsity season and more from a learning standpoint, from watching rather than doing, except in practice. These freshmen have come on scene and made impacts. Only reason that Coach Rhodes bringing the 9 freshmen on board right from the get-go, she said, you know what, I felt like they had the ability to be impact players and not be those reserve players and watching from the sideline. They can really help this team do some special things. This special group has been able to do just that. And leading the charge would be Alec Kleitz. Holowinski too. Holowinski 24 points, Kleitz with 23 coming in. Split Gerber. Sends it across. There's a bad bounce. Holowinski trying to get a shot off. Waiting back, late break for Maddie Miller. And then the left cleat for Carly Richter. We had those freshmen that come in and able to complement the play of Carmen Villarreal, who last year was a second team all-conference selection of the Fox River Classic Conference. Jessica Splitgerber from a midfield position, a first team all-conference selection last season. She too, part of the state championship basketball team this past March. Blaze. Farrell. And that's off the cleat of Splitgerber. Staying with the Wolverines here in the now 69th minute. Looking to create some chances. Cassie Blaze can had by far the best. That came in that first half after falling behind by a goal. Had a header opportunity that flew over the crossbar on a feed from Katie Grawl, and that's been really the best chance all game for David Zindler's team. Blaze set back out by Steger. After it bounced off of Pere Grawl. Off the right cleat, Holowinski. Reese Ebert. And now Steger. Kelly. Now Farrell to Kelly. From behind, the sneak attack takeaway for Alec Kleitz. Came in from behind and took it right away from Elizabeth Kelly. Kleitz. A little too far ahead for Reese Ebert, who was trailing the pack. The sophomore at 4'11" on that right wing. Now oncoming is Splitgerber. Again with Kleitz. Up to the Wolverines again with Cassie Blaze. Kleitz. Here's Arsham. Sent away with Ellie Visery. Back toward Blaze. Over the head of the leaping Frankie Jansen. Now Waukesha West. Sending the cross midfield, hooking up with Katie Grawl. Grawl trying to turn onto the outside, was trying to get around Lauren Splitgerber, but then to Pere. Multi-player markup. Again, sent upfield. Richter a little too far ahead and played off a couple of these short hops into the arms of Megan Lindstrom. Inside of 10 minutes left here in half number 2. Jessica Splitgerber and a throw in here for Ellie Visery. Wolverines to make 2 changes to their 11, 1 change being made by the Redbirds. On in is Rachel Rogan. Forward to Pere. They sub in Carmen Villarreal. And Villarreal credited with the Waukesha West own goal. That giving the Pere the 1-0 advantage. That was off the cleat with Maddie Miller. Out of play. That was off of Jessica Splitgerber. Sent up and out by Lauren Splitgerber. And a Wolverine throw-in for Carly Richter. And it goes with Rachel Rogan. Return by Blaze. She waits back, gets the feed from Grawl. Blaze looking for the angle. Out it comes Alec Kleiss. Now an opportunity to use that speed. Now slows down as Schmidt blows by. Left for Jessica Splitgerber. Splitgerber in front of Richter. Was trying to angle back in. Nice job though by Richter, not budging. Throwing inside of 8 minutes. Villarreal against Richter again, coming on and the physical play on the push. Throwing here forward the pier. Knocked down for a second by Jessica Splitgerber with Villarreal both trapped in that corner. Wolverines having it headed away again by Villarreal. After Kleiss came in. Now the right-footed strike put off a short hop. The kick by Jenna Holowinski. Lozanecki. That was off of, again, Cassie Blaze. And now with Schmidt. At the flex back toward Katie Grawl. Inside of 7 minutes left here in half number 2. Remains a 1-goal advantage forward the pier. Credited with an own goal again. Wolverines to deflect off a hip of a defender in front. Villarreal credited with the tally. Knocked down by Maddie Miller. Blaze came in to try to get a left cleat on it. Trying to send it to the field was Stagger, but no success. Blaze. And now again, Katie Grawl. Throw-in Wolverines is to be handled by Maggie Fuller. A toss to Grawl. Looking to send it in. She does. Waiting back was Rogan. Waiting out was Blaze. Grawl. That's going to go wide. She's come close to connecting a couple of times for assists. And it's a nice inward swing for Waukesha West. Again, that opportunity for Blaze. Oh, so close in the first half. Grawl has that inward swing that just did sail wide right of this near side post. 75th minute, 1-0 in favor of the Pere Redbirds. D1 state quarterfinal coverage continues hereafter. Game 3 coming up at approximately 5 o'clock between Madison West. They get set to battle, again, the DSHA Dashers. Villarreal in front there for the Wolverines is Ashley Seward. Coming over to help out was Maggie Fuller, but also there is Reese Ebert. Steger is putting the field out a little bit as she hooks up with Drew Ebert. And Ebert on the push, knocking down Taylor Schmidt. Inside of 5 minutes. Drew Ebert. Taylor Schmidt in front. Now in the corner. Very little room to maneuver because of Taylor Schmidt, who then knocks it out for a throw-in forward the pier. They go back to the sideline to make a couple of changes. Greta Arsham is back along with Abby Saville. Down to 4 minutes. Kenosha Tremper awaiting the winner. Semi-final action at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And an official stoppage as De Pere sends Drew Ebert off the field. She was taking her a few minutes to get off, and so they stopped it as she made her way to that Redbird bench area. And now Abby Salvo on back with Villarreal. Off the foul. Ball being set up and put back into play for Waukesha West. Seward off the hop and flies over the head of Rogan. Up and away by Lauren Splitgerber. Approaching 3 minutes left here in half number 2. Richter back with Rogan. And now Saville again kicked out of play by Jessica Splitgerber. Richter trying to hook up with plays, but kicked right at the feet of Maddie Miller. Headed by Abby Saville. Greta Arsham. And now Carmen Villarreal. The 3-on-1 disadvantage. Villarreal keeping it along this near touchline, trying to turn the corner on Carly Hoffman. Staying with the Pere, 2.5 to go. Again, the Redbirds. They go to that bench. And now Balser is back in. Again, an official's timeout with the substitution, with available time ticking down on the Wolverines' quest to play comeback. They're going to give a restart here for Waukesha West. That was headed by Maddie Miller. Abby Salvolt as well. Back of field trying to find Carmen Villarreal. Wolverines inside of 2 minutes. Over that of Blaze. Off the left cleat of Lauren Splitgerber. And now Carly Richter to Cassie Blaze. We'll send it ahead. Incoming. Oh, great break for Rachel Rogan, but there defensively was Maddie Miller. Rogan against Miller. Flag coming up on the near side against Waukesha West with a minute 10 to go. Already again, Kenosha Tremper victorious by way of a shootout, a game that goes down as a tie, in which the Trojans 22-3-2 awaiting this outcome. De Pere trying to win their 5th consecutive game. The Wolverine foul getting knocked down. Villarreal. 40 seconds. Steger. Now left with Saville. One final push for the Wolverines. That was knocked out by Jessica Splitgerber. Off the arm. Final 10 seconds. Carly Richter trying to hurry. Stepping in front though of Splitgerber. And De Pere is moving out. An own goal early in the first half, the difference maker. An own goal that was credited to Carmen Villarreal and advancing De Pere to a D1 state semifinal against Kenosha Tremper. Moving on to the semi for the first time since 2007, a year they would see the Redbirds finish as they runner-up against Homestead. That one goal passing the test of time, and so 6 p.m. tomorrow, it's De Pere and Kenosha Tremper with a trip to the D1 State Championship game riding on the line. Stay tuned. Our coverage of the state soccer tournament continues at approximately 5 o'clock. Game 3. It's Madison West. They're at state for the first time since 2003, and they're taking on the DSHA Dashers, back-to-back state champs in both 2008 and 2009. Again, the final score is the Pere 1 and Waukesha West 0 in this Division 1 state quarterfinal. Also, thanks to our entire team, Matt Menzel saying so long for now. You've been watching continuing coverage of the 30th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin.